Okay, so this is really gross. This time of year we get flies like crazy, and they sit on the window, and literally I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just killed 10 flies with a glove. That is so sick. I hate flies. And you know what the worst part of it is? You can't leave anything valuable out. Like I have to, you know, a camera, if I leave it there, the flies will poop on it. A finished knife sitting on my workbench, flies will poop on it, and then it affects the finish. So I'm really excited to start getting more work on these sanding blocks done, as well as do some, we're gonna do some cutting, some rough profiling on our little knife orders. I've got a bunch of last ditch neckers and then a couple of these sheep's foot EDCs. So that's what we're gonna try and do. I'm gonna try and get all my knives at least rough profiled today, and then get a decent start on machining these sanding blocks. It's gonna be an awesome day. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get right into it. Then repeat that process 6 more times. I think the blade is gonna break soon. You can just kind of feel it. One thing I get asked a lot is what type of blades do I use in my bandsaw? I only use one type of blade, and they're 14 TPI. I know you should be using different ones for different materials, but the fact of the matter is it just takes way too long to be swapping out blades every time you go from, you know, a thin certain material to a thick something other material to wood to steel, yada yada. I find it so much easier just to leave a 14 TPI in there. It does a pretty good job of everything I need to cut, and that way I'm not changing out blades all the time. Also, I'm only buying a single type of blade and I can stock them. It's not like I have to have, you know, 3 or 4 different options for blades. So that's the answer to the question. What type of blades do I use? 14 TPI. All right, so now that we've got some knives cut out, it's gonna be time to go ahead and profile these on the belt grinder. What I usually do is I'll do the outsides on the belt grinder, and then lately I've been doing these inside finger choils with a die grinder. It's kind of a lot faster and a lot easier than getting in there with my small wheels. I finish it off with the small wheels, but I do all that big heavy removal with the die grinders. Okay, my wonderful wife, she went to town. She got me some lunch and a Tim Hortons coffee. As well, she got me an electronic bug zapper. So I'm gonna see if this sucker will take care of some of these flies. I hope it doesn't end up becoming just like a major distraction to my day. Okay, it has batteries in it. Please open battery cover and remove the battery insulator. Haha, totally makes sense. Oh, here's the battery insulator. How are you supposed to get that if you didn't have a Leatherman? Here goes. Oh yeah. It works. Ah, yeah. Oh, let's go get some bugs. Come here, flies. Come on, flies. Come play these games with me. You know, now that I got this thing, they're gonna be long gone. They're gone. They're gone. What we may end up having to do is we might have to wait till it cools down a little bit. And at nighttime, they all like to try and get in here. Oh, yeah. Try and get in here now. You get, buddy. That's what you get for coming into my shop uninvited. This thing is proving to be highly effective. You know what? This is a lot of fun. I've gotten like 7 flies already. Tonight, we're going to go fly hunting. Let's put that aside for a sec. We need to talk about angles. And not so much angles of knives. I mean, obviously knives have angles and the angles on knives are important. But I'm talking about filming angle. I just had an idea. I want to get a good way to get good angles, like straight above my grinder, so you can see what I see when I'm grinding, but I still want to be able to actually accurately grind, because a lot of times when I'm doing like overhead shots, the camera's like in my way, or else I kind of gotta grind like this, and it's such a pain. This is the overhead rig that I have set up over my workbench. I'm just gonna weld a couple of tubes to the roof, so I can just move this around, and then we can put it right above the grinding wheel, look straight down, and then hopefully my head won't be in the way, and we can get some good shots of grinding. That's the plan anyways.
Make sure to stop by the current tent, show your MPR.
She's getting warm in here. Okay, so we've got our mount stood up, one right there, and then I also put one above the bandsaw, the portaband. And I didn't know if it would work with that big monstrosity of a lens, but it does. Let me show you something. Okay, we gotta go like this. That is the angle that we'll be able to see the grinding from. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. And so there's our camera. And then when I'm grinding here, I can be comfortably grinding and my head doesn't block the shot. I gotta get like right over the wheel like this before it actually blocks the shot. So I think we're gonna get a lot better footage. And the biggest reason I wanna do this is, I mean, you know, when you're doing like a knife making tutorial, it's one thing just to say, okay, this is how you grind or whatever, but I'm hoping that if you can get closer and kind of see exactly what I see, it might kind of show you how I do it. Not that I do it properly, but sometimes if you can see very clearly some of the little nuances of... Okay, so far this day's been full of plenty of distractions. It's really time to get back to work on some of these knives. Got all these guys profiled, ready to drill the holes. Same with these two guys. Now what we need to do is we need to set up our milling machine and get started on machining these sanding blocks. Alright, so we've got everything set up, and when I machine these, what I'll do is I'll do these grooves first on all of them, and then I do these grooves. So we're gonna set up and just start machining a whole bunch of straight lines. I think we're gonna call it a day right there. It's been a very productive day. I've probably got 50% of the machining done on 23 of these sanding blocks. I had a bunch of people asking for pre-order sales, so I put 10 of them up on pre-order, and I think there's 4 left. 6 of them sold like first thing this morning, which is cool. Other than that, these first 10 are gonna ship on Monday. After that, I'll probably be towards the end of next week till I get the rest of them listed up on the website. Probably be finishing those off tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm also gonna be drilling holes, profiling and putting in our rough bevels on these little guys. And then we'll see what else we can get up to. Obviously, I was fantastically distracted today by my super duper fly zapper. This thing is so much fun. and it works really good, so good times. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That's a great time for a car to go by. And thank you so much for watching. Cheers.